What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tattoo Critiques. I'm Pony Lawson, and I'm here to talk about your tattoos. Whether they're good, bad, or ugly, I'm here to talk about them all. And make sure you stick around to the very end of the video where we talk about my favorite tattoo of the week, as well as, and actually we're not gonna do a toilet tattoo this week. Initially, it was something that we started to do to kind of have a friendly competition, and it was all in fun, and it seemed like a lot of you guys really enjoyed it at first, but as time went on, it kind of just seemed like feelings were starting to get hurt, and people were actually commenting on the artist's Instagram accounts and tearing them down and things like that, and that's not what we wanted to do with the toilet tattoo. We don't want to alienate people or anything like that. We just want to give good, solid critiques and help people grow and be better and build a community from that. This is supposed to be a positive experience. People send their tattoos in for me to critique and help them get better, and I don't want to be fuel to the fire in helping them be torn down by other people watching these videos. Instead, we're going to be continuing something that we tried a couple weeks ago, and that's shining a spotlight on artists who I think you should be following, artists who I think are doing a tremendous job or pushing the limits in what I think is possible in tattooing. You guys ready? Let's do it. First up, we've got Kevin Seawell, and Kevin, you sent in a couple tattoos. And Kevin, the first tattoo you sent in is this spider face mask head thing. Not exactly sure what it is, but it is a cool tattoo. I applaud the fact that you drove right over the nipple on this one. I know that shit can be insanely painful. There are a couple small things that I want to point out. One of them being the hair. I kind of wish there were more hair strands throughout this tattoo, and not that it has to be crazy with the hair. Right now there's only a small handful, and it kind of makes the hair look like it's almost like gelled to their head. So one more small thing I want to point out is the line on the right side of this nose, how it kind of just ends when it gets up to the corner of that eye. I wish it kind of just tapered off a little more. Kind of how the right side of the nose just has a softer fade to it. It would have just felt less harsh, and the transition would have been a bit smoother. So I do believe spiders have 8 legs, and I see 5 legs on the left side of this spider, which would lead me to believe that there's 5 legs on the other side of the spider, which would lead me to believe that this spider has 10 legs, which wouldn't make it a spider. How many legs do crabs have? Do crabs make webs? I do think this is a spider, but now I'm just curious about why it has so many legs, or it's missing a couple legs. Regardless, I think this is a cool tattoo overall. I love the style that you've got throughout this. I love your style in general, how you work a lot of stippling in your work. If we look at this other tattoo that you sent in, you brought a similar style into this tattoo as well, which I love. I love the stippling, I like the dark dots that you have in this, and I like the white highlights that you have in this as well. And I am more so a fan of this hair than the hair in the other one. This one just seems to have a lot more loose strands, it seems more natural, and the hair just seems to have a better flow. Jesus Christ, dude. I apologize if you guys hear any screwing in the background. They're doing something to my building. I do like how you can see his eyeball and cheekbone and things like that through the water that's coming over his face. How you have a little bit of line work just to show that that's there, and that is transparent liquid. And I do like that you have a couple line weights in this tattoo as well. You've got the thicker lines for things up front and for things that are bigger and bolder, and you've got the thinner lines for the detail like in the nostril and in the front of the mouth and under the lip, and you've got the lighter lines for things like the water or whatever liquid that is that's going over his head. So overall, I love your style, Kevin. These are the kind of tattoos that I can tell that they're yours immediately just from how they look. Thank you for sending those in. Okay, the next tattoo sent in is from Draven Gayheart. Draven, as a shop owner, you said you're not getting the unadulterated feedback that you're looking for, so let's give you some honest feedback without kissing your ass. Okay, so you did send in a great looking tattoo. I do think this Elvis is a good one to look at. There are a couple small things that I'm gonna talk about, but overall, right away, first impressions of this tattoo are excellent job. Maybe your coworkers aren't lying. So I think the first thing that I noticed about this is the very left side of the face that has this line running down it, and I kind of wish there was just a little bit of light shading, almost a one drop black shade. Something that's barely there, but just enough to give that contrast from his face, so it's not the same tone as the person's skin tone. If there was a little bit of shading on the outside of the face, I feel it would really help sell the contrast and the highlight in the forehead and the cheekbone and things like that. I do feel like the hair has some very good shapes to it. When you break it down, it's got a lot of V shapes to it and things like that, but I do wish you would have busted out a liner just to give it some sort of variation in lines as well. You know, give it some loose strands here and there, things like that. It would have just helped sell the realism. You do have some very soft shades when it comes to the face and the forehead and the eyes, the nose and the mouth. You can tell that you aren't just throwing these shades anywhere, but they are being very methodically placed. So the nose does look a little flat. I think you could remedy that with a little bit of shading coming off of that highlight, as well as the bottom part of the nose down by the nostrils. I feel like maybe a liner would help kind of sell that that's lifting off of the face. It's just a little pointy down there, so I think maybe smoothing that out, would help sell the believability as well. And there's a little bit of a dark shade that kind of got away from you underneath the nose as well into the philtrum. Yes, that's what it's called. Go look it up, nerds. The eyes look good and the highlights look good. I would be curious to see what it looks like if you were to tone down or shrink the highlight that's in his left eye and leaving his right eye having that dominant glare. Typically when tattooing portraits, you usually want to keep one eye dominant over the other one, and that would be whatever side of the face has more light on it is going to have the bigger highlight. It just kind of helps sell the believability of something being round or something having some sort of curvature to it, some sort of form and shape. Because if you were to have the same exact highlight in both eyes, it can sometimes flatten a face. And it only really works if the highlight is directly center and shining right on the center of the face. If the highlight or the light is coming from another angle, you want to make sure that that eye is going to have the bigger glare. Make it the more dominant eye. They're gonna come through the ceiling. I'm noticing that in his left eye, it kind of seems like the iris is a little flatter than it should be. That's just the oopsie. But overall, great tattoo. I do think that you would benefit greatly from having a little bit of that soft shadow come off of that line. And that's just my main gripe about this. Just a few small things here and there that would help elevate this tattoo to the next level. So thank you, Draven, for sending that in. Thank you very much. The next couple tattoos were sent in by Warm Towelette. And well, just check these out. The first one we've got is this Chuck E. Cheese tattoo that is probably not safe for work. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why he's wearing sneakers and elbow pads in the nude. I guess he likes to get crazy when he gets down. I don't know. So this tattoo is super fun. The quality is not really all there, but the idea is fantastic. Let's talk about the quality first. It seems like there could be a lot of things changed with the composition. You know, if somebody were to come to me with this idea, there would be a lot that I changed as far as how he's standing and the line weights that were used and the shading, etc. You know, I feel like I would put a lot more into it. But like I said, the idea is hilarious. The execution, not so much. I love the hot and spicy chili. This cracks me up. I love the matching elbow pads with the, what are those, Buzz Lightyear Jordans? I love the personal choice in leaving his thighs bare but having these really hairy calves, and the way you've got his happy trail in this nice shape. This tattoo has a lot of character. There's a lot of wonkiness going on across this whole tattoo, which I guess just makes it comical. I think it's meant to be a bad tattoo, but it is hilarious. And you also send it in this tattoo that's not quite as funny, but just as ridiculous. I do think your technical ability in this tattoo shines through a little more than the previous tattoo. I can actually tell that there are some nice clean lines throughout this thing, as well as some wonky ones, but again, to me, this just seems like a better built tattoo. I do love the two little booties.
I love these booties.
I didn't notice them right away, but I mean, as soon as you do, I think it's comical. You've got a couple little gaps here and there in some of these lines. You know, maybe you just kind of forgot to go back over them or sculpt them out the way that they needed to be. But again, I don't think that these tattoos were meant to be, 100% super well done and clean. I think they're more just to be done for the humor value. But I do think these tattoos are funny. I think they're cool. Maybe not necessarily something that I would wear, but I do enjoy looking at them. So thanks, Warm Towelette. Sweet name. And thank you for sending those in. So the next couple tattoos were sent in from Bogdan Holeac. And Bogdan, the first tattoo you sent in is this cat woman with a little Batman reflection in her eye. And right away, one of the first things that I could tell that is lacking is the use of black. There isn't a whole lot of solid black in this tattoo, hardly at all. When I think of Catwoman, there is a lot of black involved, especially her suit, it being night. If you got Batman in there, Batman is also black. So I can expect there to be a whole lot of black in here, and I kind of think you got caught up on the opaque grays. What I mean by that is, I would have liked to see this tattoo done in black and white. I think you would have put a lot more black in it if it were done with normal black and white as opposed to the opaque grays. Normal black and gray or black and white tattoos are done with black and water, whereas opaque black and gray tattoos are done with the use of white. You mix white in with the blacks to have this opaque looking black and gray tattoo, whereas if you were to just use black and water, you would have this very transparent looking black. But I think for your case, I think the regular transparent black and gray or black and white would have benefited you a lot more. I think you would have used a lot more black than relying relying on your gray or white colors to carry you through these. I just feel like there's not a lot of strength in these tattoos, especially when it comes to the Catwoman. Again, if you were to have either her suit almost all black or the background almost all black, you would have some sort of dynamic chemistry happening here. When it comes to the little Catwoman at the bottom, she's kind of getting lost in the fog of all this white and light gray. Again, I think if you were to use some actual powerful blacks, maybe in some outlines and some things like that, you would really help her stand out in front of the larger Catwoman in the background. Using an outliner throughout this entire tattoo would have benefited you greatly as well. You know, in the lips, under the nose, in the eyes, around the goggles, around the little circle on her whatever you'd call that, her choker. So again, looking at this Catwoman tattoo, I think you would benefit greatly a lot from using a lot more blacks and a lot more liners, because your composition isn't bad at all, and I don't think your technical application is that bad either. I just think you're not using the right tools. Because if we look at your other tattoo that you sent in, this Day of the Dead girl, you're using more blacks here, which look better, but I also still think you're relying on those opaque gray tones to carry this tattoo, and it's just not doing it justice. If you were to have more true blacks under the chin, and again, using a liner for things like around the fingers, you know, maybe throughout the mouth where the teeth sit, you're just gonna help sell that believability. To me, I think opaque gray tattoos are a lot tougher than the actual black and gray tattoos. I think it's just a lot tougher for that white to go into the skin, whereas a watered down black is going to be a lot easier to work with. It's gonna come out of the machine a lot faster and enter the skin a lot easier. So Bogdan, honestly, I think it would benefit you to use some actual black and gray or watered down black as opposed to the opaque gray technique that you're currently using. I honestly just think that that would help further your tattooing a bit. For example, if you were to look just to the left of this Day of the Dead girl in that darker area, it gets a little bit patchy. If you were to use a solid black or like a 90% black, I think you would have a lot easier time getting that to be more solid, in return creating a image with a lot higher contrast and it being a lot smoother. So thank you, Bogdan, I appreciate you. Next tattoo on deck is sent in from Liz Dempsey. Liz, you sent in this, what looks to be some sort of like royal skeleton with some sort of drapery. To be honest, this tattoo kind of just looks incomplete. It looks like the person needs to go in for their second session. It kind of looks like you just put down a very minimal base layer of gray tones and that it's awaiting its color. If it's meant to be a black and white tattoo, I'd say you need a lot more shades in this tattoo. And if it's meant to be a color tattoo, I'd say you need a lot more shades in this tattoo. And what I mean by that is, whether it's a black and white tattoo or a color tattoo, it just needs a lot more depth. Everything is kind of just falling flat. You could benefit by having a lot more darker shades throughout this drapery. I think you could benefit by having a lot more darker shades through this drapery, as well as some thicker line weights. There is a part at the bottom of this tattoo that I can't tell if it just disappears or if you forgot a line. If I were to add shading to this, I don't exactly know where I would stop the shading because there is no border line for it to stop. And if we look to the back side of this tattoo as well, it looks like there's a little bit of a design flaw with the line that's in this petal that's kind of running out into the back of the drapery. I do believe those are eyeballs in the skull, so if that's the case, it would have been nice to see some sort of variation in shade as well. It kind of just looks incomplete. To reiterate, I just think you're missing some dark shades, some variation in line weight, and there are a couple spots that seem to be design flaws. But thank you, Liz, for sending those in. So that's gonna wrap it up for these critiques, but before I go, I wanna talk about my favorite tattoo of the week, which was sent in by... Of course you would do that. Draven, this tattoo is very well executed. Like I said before, there are a few things that I would work on here and there, but overall, you really nailed this one. So I hope that solidifies the feedback you've been getting at your studio, and keep up the good work. And before we go, I wanna make sure to shine a light on my featured artist of the week, which is GODY from South Korea. I got to meet GODY while I was working at the Inked Mag studio in New York, and my God, this guy is so good. His tattoos heal up just as well as they were applied. His smooth shading and his attention to detail are really uncomparable. So please go check out GODY Tattoo, give him a follow, and make sure you get tattooed by him the next time he's in New York. And maybe I'll see you there. But for now, I'm signing off. So don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, share this video with all your friends, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time we put out a video. See y'all next week.